Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming here with a 7th Ranger Regiment Saturday night event, Operation Deadlock. A good one for you guys tonight. All right, so as I said, the event's going to be on Narva. Our main objectives are going to be green, purple, and orange barracks. Fourth objective, the vehicle depot, in which both teams' commanders have chosen a random MBT of their choice. The admin spawned there. Retrieval. We actually have a live event tonight. 5 respawns with a total of 6 deaths on both teams. So people are gonna have to start watching their spawns. Win criteria is to have more captured points by index than the other team. Now, what qualifies as captured? You must have a radio placed within the boundaries of the objective. You must have a tab placed, functional. You must have a rep station built, and 3 ammo crates built together, kind of like ammo cache. Any of those requirements, the objective does not count as captured, or will not count towards points. But yeah, other than that, pretty straightforward. Vehicle stealing is enabled. Pretty sure we got the kill feed up for you guys. And with that, admins have called phase 1 live. Right to the action. All right, taking a look at the vehicles chosen, looks like we've got a Leopard, Bradley. It's like a ZBL with no toes. I don't know if that's a visual bug or if that's a variant. And then of ZTZ. Like we're already popping lots of smokes, Maui and Moist. Trying to sow some confusion or throw the enemy off what the real plan is. Go to have initial contact though. We'll head-on collision to start the match. Logi flips on its side. And Shadow just goes to work with that 50 cal before getting shot out of the turret. Moist is able to hit Hunter and Slate with looks like a hat kit, puts that vehicle on fire instantly. Hunter's able to engine the Tiger right before losing the vehicle. Down it goes. Maui's able to finish it off. Looks like the Logi succumbed to its injuries as well. We do still have a few bodies up. Should be able to recover. Got a Joseph and C-Dub running one of the MTLB. I want to say that's the 6MB. It's got the BTR turret on it. The BTR 82 turret. Looks like Ukraine has taken early control of their MBT and their Bradley. That MBT is already going to work. Both teams are trying to get their MBTs out of here. But nope, as soon as that vehicle gets crewed, it just instantly starts taking contact from both the tank and a hat team. Looks like Lenny and Bebe were able to successfully immobilize that ZTZ. Hit it a second time, and Lenny's able to finish it off with that Ukrainian RPG-7. Unfortunately, Russia's off to a bad start. They're down 1 tank. Pretty sure they lost their MTLB 6MB as well. Not sure whatever happened with the ZBL. They had admin spawn. I don't know if they were able to recover that or if they ever even crewed it. They did not. It's still sitting there. Both teams suffering heavy casualties here in the middle of the map. Fighting over. I'm not quite too sure what they're fighting over. I think this fighting's sort of just a result of the initial push to recover their admin spawned vehicles. Wrecker's able to take out Kirby the moment he jumps in that vehicle to try to get it out of there. We talked about earlier, RGF definitely came into the match with the armor advantage. But due to the way that Ukraine has played out the rollout, you just see this absolute wasteland of vehicle carcasses. We got 2 6MBs, ZTZ, and a ZBL all destroyed. And the Leopard and the Bradley didn't take a single hit from any of those engagements. Not only does Ukraine now have the armor advantage, they also have their anti-tank advantage, if you ask me, with their hat kits getting 2 in-laws and 2 of the RPG-7 tandems. And now for those of you that don't know, I don't know if it's a bug or not, but the RPG-7 tandem round on the Ukraine faction in particular has the drop-off and the ballistics of a heat round. I don't know if that's a bug. I don't know if it's intentional. Makes it a rather overpowered hat kit. Looks like Russia's taken early control over the train station objective. At least they've got their radio down. As we discussed earlier, they'll have to place a HAB rep station and ammo crates to get this fully captured, so to speak. After the initial 5-minute timer, vehicle stealing has been enabled for the duration of the match. Looks like Hunter and Shadows were able to wipe out an entire transport truck full of Russians up to the north. Ukraine's taking early control over the barracks objective. Seems like our AA guns are taking shots at Skinless and MI8. Again, this is a live event. We got 5 lives and 6 deaths. So, sorry to say 5 respawns. Hey, Snow's just holding it down. He's a lone survivor. Jungle with a nasty cross angle from across the streets, able to take out 2K and potentially save Jay Snow. Murder Weasel with another cheeky angle through the window, through the trees. They've leveled the playing field, leaving just Jay Snow and JC in this apartment building. Both players scared to leave their corner, not knowing what they might run into. There's a tow going out. Looks like it's going for the heli. Is it going to connect? No, it looked like it hit the rotor maybe even. We'll take a look down for Quarry, see if anyone's gone after that objective. Looks like Russia did get early. Yeah, they took Quarry, so they're uncontested on the Quarry. That being said, Ukraine is also uncontested on barracks. To the point they've only decided to leave probably half a squad on the actual objective proper. Seems like Russia forgot to appoint a commander until just now, so that's going to severely delay the command assets. Let's hope that doesn't affect the end game too much. Wherever he's at, it seems like Fuzzball's just going on a killing spree. Right here in the second floor, just having a turkey shoot on that open road as the Russian try to cross over and help their friends. Definitely seems the majority of the fighting is going to be over train station this match. That'll be the tiebreaker, seeing that there's 3 active objectives. Looks like Motherland in the AA gun is able to absolutely ice Mongo's heli out of the air. Not even a Vic, but an emplacement. Some good shooting by Motherland. Seems the team of Ukrainians have been able to infiltrate the train station. We've got the Russian hab proxied for sure. Conman and Twitch sneaking right up behind user. He's not able to get his gun up in time, leaving Beto on his lonesome in the hab. He's able to drop Conman and Twitch. Joseph and Kirby are running in to save the day. Joseph and Beto trade. That's going to unproxy this hab. It's like Loki was able to get the radio down a few layers, but not quite to bleed, before he's overran by Russians. The Russia's gonna squeak past this time, and they're gonna save this radio. Still no contest on either the northern or southern objectives. All the fighting remains over middle objective. several games trying to get a hat kit or a lap round on the I can never remember the name of those light Vics, but he is able to successfully hit it. The Kozak, I believe. Be very wrong about that.
Bravo. Yep, that's the one I was talking about. Grenades.
One down.
Duck's able to sneak up on Beer Daddy. I don't even know where Spartan was to have killed him. Oh, he was behind him. Spartan and Beto may be able to recover their friendlies here. In a life-based event like this, there's a lot more things you have to take in consideration, such as positioning. You got to make sure that if you go down, you're somewhere where a medic can feasibly get to you without risking their own life. You don't have the privilege of just respawning as many times as you'd like.
Yep.
Take a look to see if any objectives have been contested. Does look like a very small Russian force tried to take over old barracks. It's unsuccessful in doing so. Still no Ukrainian pressure on quarry. Seems like looks like Great Hunter used a toe on a person. Interesting strategy, but hey, if it works. Looks like we have some smoke mortars coming out, possibly for the Ukrainians to push into quarry. Mars was able to take out Doc Burrito with a well-placed nade.
Three dead up here.
Ah, my boy. We'll be getting ran up on.
Eli to your right, along that wall he's going west.
Kirby takes out Eli, but not before the nade gets out. Eli's able to take out Mr. Crazy and Joseph with that grenade.
So get up. Not hell yeah.
Alright, good clear, boys. Let's work our way down to the fourth floor. Get for water.
Seems like quite a bit of fighting's been taking place in these apartment buildings just south of the old barracks. Seems as though a Russian squad loaded up in a transport inadvertently ran into some Ukrainian contact a little sooner than they expected. Hear that Ukrainian grenade launcher going off, and that thing is just dirty. that thing. There it is. Quite the angle, too. He's actually able to take out David, one of the only survivors of that contact. Only leaves Maui way off on his lonesome west side. I don't know if there's anything he's going to be able to do about this mask has to his east. Like the mortars have finally gotten on point. Those are some beautiful smoke screens going down.
That you guys digging?
Yeah, that's me. Trying to get out. I fucking locked myself in there because I was getting pushed.
See, Eli should get a chance to pick up 2 friendlies if he's careful. Beto from the, what was that, 5th floor window is able to take out Cybel Games, who's trying to recover Joseph. Looks like Eli also went down. Alan was able to get eyes on him. Where's Alan? I couldn't tell you. Just under the overpass bridge, I guess. Alan has embraced the rat life. Mando and Finest actually get tracked. Cybel's actually able to finish them off. That's unfortunate. Ukraine will now be down to Bradley for the duration of the match. If you recall, that was an Admiral spawned armor asset. Pancake lying in wait, watching a staircase.
kill. Contact in this building, kill me. Three strikes. Hold spawn.
You got him?
They're, yeah.
Iranians just not having much luck pushing this train station. They may have to switch up the game plan. May even see some success if they sneak a whole squad down to quarry. Only 5 defenders on quarry. This could be an easy takeover. Old barracks still intact. A bit of a super fob starting to form up here on the western side. Haven't seen much armor use out of Russia after that initial rollout. Russia's even been able to expand their territory claims all the way to the castle, even pushing north of said castle. Leaving Ukraine really only just a small sliver on the north and then the west side. That Harry on the toe.
Okay, where did the guy fall?
Kills another player with the toe. Again, interesting, very interesting strategy. Ooh, that, my friends, is the sound of artillery. Angel, commander of the Russian team, used a creeping barrage east to west, and it seemed to be not too effective. Only 2 real people it could down, not for a lack of placement. It was a great placement. There just wasn't anything there. Seems like it's kind of given up their northern push for the time being. Merc was able to get an in-law shot on Josef and Cita, but fortunately, he spotted almost instantaneously. No backup, they'll be able to hop out and repair that vehicle and head on their merry way. Does look like Ukrainians have opted for a... Yeah, it looks like they are going to go after Quarry. Entire squad pushing Quarry from the east, deep east. As we still have about half a squad keeping the Russians busy on the north side of the train station. Don't want to just instantly go quiet. That's going to get the Russians thinking, where are they going? And the Ukrainian attackers on north side of train do seem to have an equivalent sized group of Russians occupied, tied up in that fighting. That's good. Actually only leaves about 3 Russian defenders in train station proper. Makes me wonder where all the Russian troops are. There's none attacking old barracks. Seems like the Russians might have actually overextended, and there's a large group up to the north of Castle. Seems to be a few tied up fighting even further north of that. Somehow, out of nowhere, a whole squad of Russians has appeared east of Quarry. I don't know if they've been here the whole time or what. AA gun getting some good shots on Mongo and the MI8. Which wasn't quite able to get the lead figured out to finish off. Mongo's gonna live another. It sounds like Ukraine's responding with a mortar barrage of their own. Must have been a creeping barrage from the south to the north, and just like the Russian artillery barrage, not any real damage or effects. Just too many people tucked away in buildings, not many emplacements to destroy. Unfortunately, this eastern assault was detected early, gotten caught up in some pretty tense fighting around these buildings. Night shift. Yeah, I see your question. Yeah, so just to reiterate, we got 3 active objectives. It's going to be on Quarry, Train Station, and Old Barracks. And the capture conditions during this event are by index. The team must have a radio placed, a hab placed and dug up, a rep station placed and dug up, and 3 ammo crates also placed and dug up. Yep, Speed summed it up perfectly. And though Ukraine took a very early, I guess you could say, lead, since that they completely demolished the Russian armor, we haven't seen armor be really effective whatsoever during this event. Seems the Ukrainians tried for a heli insertion, possibly even a radio drop, but they were possibly found out by a small team of Russians. It did not go well. Fortunately for Ukraine, it just seems like Russia's able to have their defenders exactly where they need to be, when they need to be there. Ukraine just can't seem to catch them on the back foot. It does look like they were able to sneak a radio in. They can get this hab placed and dug up before they're found. This could be pretty big. Unfortunately, Prod is his little drone as it gets shot out of the air, but it's too late because that drone definitely called out a Logi down here on the south side of Quarry. Slate just is able to place the hab, but it's getting run up on by JC Delta 9, T-Boy, and XAXP. It's going to be an unfortunate loss for Ukraine. Both tickets and map control. Checking back in on train station. Again, only about 3 defenders in the actual objective proper. And still yet, Old Barracks uncontested. Looks like Ukraine is actually able to win the gunfights, recover their heli and their bodies. like they're actually going to load up and reposition. Just probably the smart move. But with only about 5 or 6 people defending train station, if they all pushed into train right now, even off a radio, could actually probably take it. And looks like the heli rotors are actually going to collide on this apartment building, and they're going to.
Your blades are nowhere near anything. That's pretty lame.
That is indeed lame. They'll take a second thought about maybe pushing train station one last time. Admin call, we only got 10 minutes left on this round. Eastern Ukrainian push was foiled by Joseph and C-Dub in the MTLB 6MB. And that's that MTLB with the BTR-82 turret. Providing heavy suppression and causing massive damage to this push. Seems like Finest is having a field day in whatever the hell he's using. It's a BMP-1 with Mando.
Hello, we died.
As the Ukrainians are trying to figure it out on the south side of Quarry, let's take a peek back at the Black Hawk down north of train station. Looks like we're spooling up once again. We can see here the rotors are nowhere near the building, but we'll see if they magically collide with something again. I hope they're going to be able to make it out this time. Let's see where they go with it. They're already coming down a second time.
Wow. Oh, it's gone.
Already coming down up on the... I don't know why Artie got dropped over there. On the hillside where the BMP-1 was resting with Finest. Mando.
I'm gone.
Looks like a very... We're going to do a sudden hot drop for the Ukrainians to reinforce the southern quarry push. Let's hope that MTLB is far out of here. Got some real issues. Looks like hot drop is successful and the MI8's going to bug out to the east side. I couldn't quite tell you why mortars were dropped way over here to the west. Wrecker and Texas Assassin still up in the Leopard that they got at the beginning of the match. They actually might get an MI8 kill. Yeah, put it in reverse, Derry. Skinless just barely going to duck behind the dirt mound, but I don't think he's going to be safe on egress. Wait. Or not. Wrecker smokes skinless on the egress. Ukrainians are finally starting to make a little bit of headway on the south side of Quarry. Pancake gets to jump on JC. AXP is holding a dirty angle behind the staircase. That angle works out for him. Love to see some combined arms pushes going on. We got the tank closely supporting the infantry on the southern objective. Seem to be having a little bit of technical difficulties with the terrain. C-Dub and Joseph are pushing in with the MTLB again. Looks like they got the 6MB once again. Got about a fire team on the other side of this dirt mountain. He just doesn't seem to see him yet. Nor does he see the tank that's about to give him a nice kiss. That first shot was a beautiful track shot, so he's going to sit right there as the Leopard reloads. Down goes the 6MB. Ukrainians are really starting to close in on this radio. Looks like we only got about two Russian defenders on this radio building. We got Mailmere and Motherland. If a few more can just push up to the building, they can easily take this radio.
Hold up, I'm reloading.
It's like Wrecker and Tex must have found the, I'm gonna guess the rep station. And the hab. Hello. Better hope they're using heat rounds. As we all know, AP does not do anything to a hab or any other emplacements, but you hit it with a heat round. I think about 4 will completely take that hab down to sticks. Mando and Finest are going to join in the fight. They're probably a little better equipped to handle infantry with those fragmentation rockets.
What does Ace
Wrecker and Tex just sowing absolute chaos on the Russian hab.
Get out of the tank. I need to fucking talk to you.
Jungle comes in, shoots Joseph off the Leopard. They're calling out if they destroy the rep station that this does not count as a point, and he's right. Down goes OMG. With that, I don't think there's any more Russian defenders on this cap, aside from the 2 in the radio building. But none of that matters because without the rep station or the hab up, this will not count as a point. Take a brief intermission from the fighting. Looks like a lot of the Russians are spawning back on train station. Still yet no contest on Old Barracks. As it stands now, with less than 10 minutes Looks like Ukraine's going to get a point for old barracks. Russia's going to get a point for train station. And no one will get a point for quarry. Now, I'm sure there's some more tiebreaker criteria to hear about later. Or, who knows, we may not even need it, depending on how the second round goes.
Hold up, I'm reloading.
Ukraine actually... Russia never dug down the Ukrainian radio to the west, which at the time was a smart move, blocking them from getting any other radio down, but now that they've been able to take control of quarry, they actually would have, if they had just a little bit more time, would have been able to get their own hab and rep stations down, but as we all see, index was called. Like we've got a admin slow-mo 0.01 or something. The admins are trying to get a point count. We can take a look now at the, or not the map. Let's take a look at the kills and the revives even. Spartan Actual with 9 revives on Russia. Mr. Crazy with 10. Doc Burrito with 8. Comrade Mario with 26 knocks and 13 down deaths. Kills, good lord. Motherland with 8 revives. Elmir with 9. Delta 9 with, I think I said 14 or 19 revives. Unfortunately, the layer rolled before I could get through the rest of the scoreboard.
Ow.
But Russia did have about 15 more revives than Ukraine did total that first round.
Advance and secure. Высылайтесь. Захопіть усі точки. Розпочато голосування.
Now as we set up for round 2, we all know what to expect. Teams might put a little less emphasis on that initial armor fight and a little more emphasis on taking the 2 of the 3 objectives early game. Looks like this time we're going to have an Abrams, U.S. Army Abrams, and a Challenger, as well as a extra BTR-4 and a looks like tracked ZBD. It's hard to tell. Phase 1 has been called live by the admin, so we're going to try to stay way up high here, see where we can find the initial contact.
Wow.
So you guys don't miss
Was
any
he
of the
even looking
action.
at me?
It looks like once again both teams are just spearheading for that armor. Got Crane sending 2 full Lodgies,
Bro, you need a
and I'm not
juggernaut.
quite sure all what Russia's sending. And as the rounds start flying, the Tiger and the Kozak are throwing 50 cal rounds to just try to suppress the other. Seems like the Abrams is up first, and the Challenger. Abrams is the first to take a shot. Challenger gets hit by a tank round and looks like by some sort of AT round.
Someone bashed the door open.
Joseph is just still
then
backing
just, like,
up,
left the-
engine smoking for dear life. Looks like the BTR-4 is going to take out the ZBD rather quickly, though. Or maybe not. They'd rather turn tail and leave, which might be the smart play in the long run.
It's like that meme
It's going to leave the ZBD
where
up,
there's
though.
a bouncer in front of the door and it says, like, "Don't JB."
Joseph frantically backing up for dear life. I don't know, looks like he might have turned around at this point. Not even been engined from the looks of it. The R4's coming to provide assistance with engine smoke. Looks like the Abrams catches a hat round from Duck and Lego Maego. He's actually going to be tracked and stuck in place. Double tracked at that. This could be trouble for the Abrams. The ZBD has also gotten mobile finally.
There's just a second.
Seems like someone was able to kill the... They were able to kill Tex trying to rep the Abrams, and then a tow comes in from, look like the BTR-4 and is able to finish off the Abrams. That, the Abrams goes down, and that is it. Leaving just the ZBD. Well, I'm pretty sure Ukraine is able to retain their Challenger and their BTR-4.
Well, you know what they
Though
say,
severely
you
damaged,
go
they are saving it.
back.
Got Kirby on the roof banging away with the hammer. As Joseph continues to drive it out of danger. Some really intense infantry fighting here, away from all of the objectives. And what the team's got to take away from the first match is this, none of this matters. That initial armor grab was extremely important, but now that the armor is either destroyed or gone, with the sole exception of the ZBD, these guys need to get out and start focusing on those actual objectives. Speaking of, let's see who took what. looks like just like first match, Russia was able to grab train station. Killed out all but one Ukrainian contesting it. Looks like a lot of dead bodies up at old barracks, actually. But as first match, Ukraine was able to take the radio. But Russia's got people digging down the radio because they could not hold it. What I was talking about, we got too many people focused on that armor fighting. We had not even a full squad on this northern objective. This could spell trouble for the Ukrainians. Take it down south to Quarry, see what's going on there. Ukraine did manage to take Quarry. Like they're even going as far as using the same buildings. But that ZBD is going to skate out alive. Director and Tex come in with the MTLB 6MB. MTLB with the BTR-82 turret. They're going to drive right up to Ukrainian front lines. They may catch a stray. AXP happens to mid-arm on the window. So his scope may have been clear and might not have accounted for the actual tube.
Hey, both of y'all get behind second cover.
I'm going.
Civilians to be killed.
All right, now just as a recap, Ukraine's got control over Quarry. Russia has train station. Seems like the main point of contest right now is going to be old barracks, with Russia actually was able to completely wipe all Ukrainian contact utilizing their helicopter. Longo as that pilot, they were able to get a new radio down of their own. Russia actually has 2 objectives under their control at the moment. Crane's not too happy about losing old barracks. So it seems like they are utilizing some combined arms tactic to push squad in. It looks like via light Vic. While they have some armor and another squad distracting on the northwest side. Now Habibi might have spotted this attempt. He's looking that way. Probably screaming in squad chat to pass it out.
That's civilian.
Habibi opens up and instantly gets return fire from at least half of that squad. Now, Russia has actually had time to shift their defensive posture over to the east to combat this attacking Ukrainian squad. Meanwhile, another element's been able to push in on the direct north and the west side, southwest side of this objective. Crane really wants old barracks back, and I don't blame him. Alan and King Bob are just outside the radio. Surely he hears it walking not even 5 feet from it. Or not. I don't know if we ever located the Russian hab that was placed. If one was placed at all. Find that. I think Mando and Finest are in a tense IFV versus MB. Merc up there with likely a hat kit gets a hit on the MBT. They're both out for repair. Lobs a grenade. Kills both the people repping. ETR4 runs up to the rescue with Zenobia and Kirby. That didn't quite go as expected. Airstrike goes down, takes out the Challenger. That's both teams' admin spawned MBT out of the match. Meantime, Rain has taken full control over Old Barracks, possibly opting to leave the radio up, almost pretty much denying Russia at this point any other new radio they could place. They still need a radio of their own, which I'm sure they're trying to coordinate as fast as humanly possible. Take a look back south. We got a squad on each team fighting north. Main having quarry uncontested at the moment. And Russia have a train station. Mildly contested. Two Ukrainian stragglers trying to poke at the defense, find a weak point or something. Take a look back at Quarry though. Actually saw defenses or emplacements, which we didn't see the first time. Some nice defenses to keep attackers out of that HAB building. That's going to be extremely important. Like, Skinless is magic trick and make his rotors disappear. Like Russia sent about a half a squad in on the east side of Old Barracks to take it back, but this is not going as almost squad and a half, two full squads to meet them. could be wrong. That looked like an attempt at a flyby radio. Like we can see it again here. Angel's able to get it down. They did eventually dig down that Russian radio barracks. Candles will be able to come back in and drop those supplies. Be able to get started on hab rep station and ammo crates for points. Seems like Ukraine's also been able to put a almost full squad on attack train station. We got 2 pieces of Russian armor going after the BMP-1 with Kirby. You know. Like Moist can be AT. Let's see if he can do anything about this LB. Slow in this riverbed, he will absolutely have all the time in the world to get a shot off. He is a hack kit, can do some serious damage. Hope the BTR turret does not spot Moist as he sneaks up. Just being careful not to mid-arm. The overshoots. That's... Luckily, the BTR turret cannot see Moist in this tall hayfield. Lucky for the MTLB, he's able to get away. Like Skinless lost its heli. Now that might have been what the ZBD was also shooting at. Or maybe even... Does look like some chaos is going on to the north. Like, Honk was able to take out whole squad using his Kozak. Open top 50. Conman and Burrito are going to run right into this. Again, I think it's a ZBD. Could be wrong. Now, if Conman's AT, he could cause some trouble for this Chinese armor piece. Does hit it once. Still mobile.
Bro, where are you?
Looks like he was able to hit it in the turret. He can barely turn his turret, so he's having a whole steer. Fortunately, Doc Burrito's going to jump out on the move. Great Hunter's going to run up on him before he gets out of that animation lock. Honk and Crazy running up on the ZBD. If they can get shots in the rear, which they do, now they just need to stay up the rear. They can easily finish off this Vic. Finus is going to dismount. What a play. Honk and Mr. Crazy are actually able to finish off an IFV in just an open top 50 cal. Thanks to the excellent shot placement by, who was that? Conman. Put a round in the turret. Honk's even able to follow up with even more infantry kills, leaving Staff Sergeant Shadow as the only man standing on this north. Comrade Mirio puts a GL right on his forehead, and that's a complete squad wipe to the north. Yeah, it's just excellently played. Involved on the inside. X and Wrecker are going to be hiding up here. Old barracks. Quite an ambush going on a burning vehicle.
Wow.
Look down now at train station. Just still has control over train station. And Ukraine retains control over Ori. No contest. Enemy boat mark goes down. Flooded Narva. Oh, and on flooded Narva would be super cool. We don't see any of those.
That's me.
Way downtown, Merc was able to get a hat round on that BMP-1. Absolutely smokes it. Merc's even gonna get a rearm off of the MTLB. Or even longer. Up the mouse there. Yeah.
I was watching.
Looks like Honk and Mr. Crazy were able to pull up on yet another. Seems like they were able to devastate a BRDM and a transport. Full transport.
Oh wow, there's
Down goes the
outside
BRDM.
shotgun.
These light Vics are just absolutely putting in work on the north side, keeping the Russians from being able to set up out an attack on old barracks. Mr. Crazy's able to take out the only guy up to the north. This could be trouble. Another full wipe for the Russians. Some well-placed shots. He's able to take out the guy rezzed and Slimerk. Remember, these are live events. This is a live event. Every
Yes.
wipe the Russians have had up to the north is just absolutely devastating. Crazy's got a full squad coming in to help. Against 3 heavily injured. Now 2 heavily injured. Make it 1. Grandma and Spartan coming in to assist. No offense, Harry, but I don't think you can take on 8. I don't think you can take on an 8-man squad. Not in a fight, at least. And Harry goes down almost instantly. Be another full squad wipe. Russians.
Behind.
As it stands now, Old Barracks remains uncontested. Ori seems to have one or two stragglers just taking pot shots at whoever's out in the open. We have some fairly intense fighting to the south and north of train station. Russians are not giving it up easily.
Go to jail.
Yep.
David heard footsteps and held the angle. That worked out.
Crew's able to shoot David almost mid-run. Then he gets taken down by
Straight in
Leroy.
front of me.
Both teams just absolutely trading kills up here to the north. This is good fighting. Sounds like artillery on the way. Other than poor old Tibbers, I don't think this artillery is going to have much effect.
Can you come with me? I guess on his fucking AFK.
Must be some cool new remote tow emplacement. Didn't know this was a thing. This is pretty cool. Like he's able to remotely control the tow emplacement from safety.
Here, grab it. I'll go up there.
That MTLB keeps moving south, they actually may get a chance to use it.
Oh, okay.
As Artie comes in, if this tow will just look southeast, he'll actually get a shot on Mando and Finest finally. It's Artie actually may take down the tow emplacement.
Need that gun.
Pancake's already seeming to be extremely effective. Knocking down quite a few defenders down on Quarry. Full squad of Russians ready to attack from the east side. This could be trouble. Buzzball's running the drone in, trying to probably get eyes on the hab. Luckily, Ukrainians are able to shoot down the drone, able to get too close. Russian armor's coming in. Hopefully he doesn't get eyes on this Ukrainian heli. He does not. Buzz is able to get a second drone out, this time successfully into the compound. Ukrainian AT is actually able to track Finest and Mando. MTLB is going to be stuck in the compound. Probably not where he wants to be. Like Window Ripper was actually able to sneak up to the radio in the midst of all the chaos, and he's now digging. See if the Ukrainians notice in time. Ukrainian radio's almost on bleed. Bonds are surely disabled. Finally, the MTLB goes down. The Ukrainians are able to leave their spawn building, but I think it's a little too late as the radio is already on bleed. Worthy 2K is the only one heading over to save it, but 2 Russians defending that radio, I don't think there's much he could do about it. Unless he's John Wick himself. Jungle actually takes out Worthy from one of the Ukrainians' own observation towers. Any second, and there it goes. The radio's gone. As it stands, nobody will get points from Quarry. Both teams have a decent footprint, though. If they could coordinate a heli drop, they could get the radio down pretty quickly. Still maintains train station. Though Ukraine does still maintain control of barracks, it is getting contested. Got a squad split up into 2 fire teams attacking the south side.
Go forward a little.
So yeah, both teams fairly evenly matched.
I killed the guy on the west side outside. He's
Quarry objective, though Ukrainians still have their defenses to work off of.
Yeah, they're coming around though. They're coming around.
They also have a BMP-1 pulling up to assist. As the Russian footprint on Quarry dwindles down to about 3 bodies. Seems like most of Encino might have just been aimed by their own infantry. Unless that shot came from up north. Murder weasel. No. Train station remains uncontested in Russia's favor. Ukraine seems to be fighting for their lives on the barracks. A lot of dead bodies. Both sides. Now he kills Loki with a lat rocket. He's taken out by Dad on a 50 cal. It's like Ukraine used one of their command assets, that double precision bombing strike. Doesn't really. You know is if Ukraine doesn't get a radio back down on Quarry, they get 0 points out of this round. Back to the north and see how Ukraine and Russia fare on old barracks. Ukraine is all but wiped off of old barracks. They've got Eli on the radio. Only hope for Ukraine seems to be Moist Fusion. Moist gets a cheeky little angle on Eli. He's able to take him out. Dad rushes over to assist. Moist gets taken out. Now Ukraine was able to get, looks like 5 bodies back onto objective. Let's see how they play this out. That goes to finish the video. 10 minutes left. Ukraine has control of no objectives. Alan and Angel able to clean up about 2 to 3 bodies. Hammer lobs a grenade. I think it hit the pole though. Modern with an awesome grenade takes Grammar out on the higher floor. I think the radio's still up. No more Russians in sight except for DeBito in the AA. He's actually able to shoot Kirby off of the enemy anti-air. What Ukraine needs to do is get this radio back up and get the spawn online.
Okay, I need
Amsel rolls in the open top 50. Buys the distraction that Zeno needs to jump on the AA gun. Drop the window. It's looking pretty good for Ukraine on this northern objective. Aside from a BRDM. Which, thanks to the update, you can actually now shoot driver and gunner out of the BRDM. Finest able to come out on top with the BRDM. Like Russia's gonna rush some support in with a heli. A full squad of attackers. And seems to have stabilized old barracks for now. Let's take a look back down at train station. Still under Russian control. No check back in on quarry. Looks like Ukrainians were able to get another radio back down on quarry. See if they could get their having ammo crates down as well. Do see a hab. Do see a rep station. Sure, there's ammo crates here somewhere as well. Let's hope they didn't forget the ammo crate. There they are. Perfect. MP1 just barely missing a shot on Mongo in the MI8. Holy massacre on the east side of Quarry. What's going on over here? Correction, old barracks. This seems like where the majority of the fighting's going to be into index. That sounds like the all too familiar sound of artillery coming in. This one's gonna hurt. Pancake with 6 kills right off the bat with that artillery. Now I counted 9 or 10 kills with that artillery. That was a very well placed and timed artillery strike. Russia hot dropping 2 more bodies into the objective. This tracked MTLB and Old Barrack seems to be causing all the chaos. But with index called, we're gonna have to see if that rep station is considered built or not. I'll try to take a quick look at the scoreboard. Looks like Ukraine got 120 revives compared to the 87 for Russia. Looking at 13 and 12 revives for OMG. It's really crazy. 17 revives for Manny. 14 for Spartan Actual. The other team, not so many. We got 13 for Grammar, 12 for Popping Caps for Fun. That's about it. We are going to go jump into the debrief and see who's the declared winner of this. We'll be right back. All right, looks like I've got the consensus. So during round 1, Ukraine got 1 point for controlling green objective. RGF got 1 point for controlling purple. Last 5 minutes of the round, Russia lost control over orange. During round 2, RGF got 1 point for controlling purple, and Ukraine actually got 2 points for controlling green and orange. So from the looks of it, if you were RGF the first round, you're going to be the winners, coming away with a total of 1 + 2, 3 points over both rounds, while Ukraine first round
So glad that.
lost with a total of 2 points. You guys like what you saw today? You want to be a part of the events, play in them even. Join the community at discord.gg. 7th Rangers are always recruiting new players after 2, actually sometimes more trainings and stuff. Yeah, fun event stream for you guys, and see you guys next week. That was Crazy Day, your host.